Hello everyone, I'm here to present our tool called ExecutionFlow. ExecutionFlow is a tool that computes the paths exercised in a Java project when a test switch is performed. It receives as input a Java project and provides the list of test paths in terms of source code lines. The test path information can be used for different reasons and purposes. For example, the mostly used is to calculate the coverage of a test switch. Test coverage is a metric that helps testers identify what has not been tested by a test switch, or, in other words, parts of code that have not been exercised by any test. To calculate the test coverage, we need to know which paths of the code are exercised. Thus, for example, consider this simple function here. About this function, it can be represented by the control flow graph CFG shown to the right. From this control flow graph and assume the edge coverage, we can define 4 test requirements for this code. If one or more of these test requirements are not covered by any test case, then this test switch can be possible be improved. For example, let us consider a test switch composed of 2 tests. In the first test, the test input data is set to the value 0, and in the second test is set to the 5. Each test exercises a single test path in the control flow graph, as shown in the right table. As we can see, our 2 tests covered only 3 out of the 4 test requirements. The path 7, 10, 14 has not been exercised yet. Thus, the tester can add more test paths to improve this test switch. Nowadays, it can be found many tools that calculate the coverage of a test switch for Java code projects. This information is limited to a few basic coverage criteria, mainly node and edge coverage. Without having access to the proper test paths, the tester cannot analyze the test switch to stronger criteria, for example, the prime path coverage. So, ExecutionFlow fills this gap by providing to the tester the test path of any application method from Java projects. Concerning the use of our tool, ExecutionFlow, some requirements need to be met. The first is to use the Eclipse version 29T or higher than that. Other requirements is concerned the Java. The Java version is at least 12. We need to use a JUnit framework, JUnit 4 or JUnit 5. And at least you need to use the plugin ADDT. Concerning how to use your tool, you need to perform the 5 steps below. First, import the project. Second, convert the project. 3 and 4, import the jar files, and at least run the tests. Now, we are going to show you how to use your tool. In fact, just you need to perform the 5 steps. First, import the Java project. As you can see in Eclipse, we already imported this project. Second, convert this project. And the next steps is to add the 2 jar files. The jar file of the aspect tools and the jar file of our tool, ExecutionFlow. Before you show the results of running our tool, that is the test path files, we would like to emphasize that our tool can be used for different purposes. As we said, for example, to calculate the coverage value, 2 criteria like node and edge coverage, and 2 stronger criteria like prime path coverage. After generation of the test path of the function showed on Eclipse, this is the final result, that is, the test path files. Finally, you'd like to point out that our tool has several possible uses. As we said, it can be used as a tool to support calculating the coverage value to criteria like node and edge coverage and prime path coverage, a more stronger criteria. Besides that, the tool can also use as a tracing tool for debugging and a better understanding of the source code unit. So, thank you very much for your attention.